So yes, we have Andy Stone, who's going to be talking to you about the media explosion.
Unfortunately, folks, my reason for visiting today is very dangerous and very urgent. This morning, I was contacted by a total stranger, and while their identity remains mysterious, their message was very clear. In all caps, presumably an Austrian accent, the message read, "Follow me if you want to live!" Obviously, I started following them immediately. But this was no ordinary Twitter account. Their ominous profile photo was of Star Wars character Admiral Akbar, and the first tweet I saw on the page said, "It's a trap," but it was already too late. I was quickly hacked and all of my social network accounts were taken hostage. My Facebook, my Twitter, my Google+, Foursquare, Tumblr, LinkedIn, LiveJournal, even MySpace. My MySpace? Come on, that's like hijacking the space shuttle. It's really never going anywhere ever again. Consequently, I've had to go literally all day without any access to my social networks. And before you ask, yes, I'm all right. I went for a walk. I knitted a sweater. I finally got around to writing my novel. All in all, it's been a pretty full day. After I finished the last chapter of You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance, a novel, I had some time to research the explosive growth of social networking. And from a quantitatively statistical standpoint, shit's blowing up. When Facebook launched in February of 2004, both the internet and its poster child, Justin Bieber, were only about 10 years old. At that point, there were about 700 million people online. Although I did not pursue any additional Justin Bieber research, 7 years later, Facebook alone now has over 800 million users. Twitter's user base has more than tripled over the past 2 years to 150 million users who send 1 billion tweets every single week. And get this, that's about 1,600 tweets every second. Of those 1,600 tweets, 3%, or about 50 of those tweets, are all about Justin Bieber. Son of a bitch, how do you get back in here? This person's hacked again. Clearly, the way people communicate is rapidly changing, and change is always a little dangerous and a little exciting. It's kind of like nude bungee jumping, but on the internet. And I'm sure I could find that if I looked for it, too. The biggest risk of the social media explosion is oversharing. Mobile broadband connections have made it easier than ever to share information anywhere, and social networks have started to embrace location-based services that allow you to publicly post where you are at any given moment. For example, did anybody have a chance to tweet Foursquare or Facebook post about being here tonight? Honestly, I see a few hands. If you haven't, I'd encourage you to take a second now to get out your smartphones and check in with any of those organizations. Okay, awesome. I just want to thank you all for giving my goons the all clear to go and rob you suckers. Ha ha! Maybe I'm the criminal mastermind after all. Never forget that a post about where you are is also a post about where you are not. Also, check yourself before you tech yourself. Remember that nothing is truly private on the internet. Be proactive and familiarize yourself with each specific security controls of all the social networks that you use. Know how to block people. Know how to limit your post visibility. And for the love of Tom, please change your passwords at least twice a year. There are many reasons to fear social networks, but in all the risky, unexplored territory, there is also unimaginable opportunity. This week, we lost a visionary who understood this idea better than most. Few people could honestly claim direct responsibility for changing the world, but Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, was one of them. Decades ago, he envisioned a world with a computer in every household, and the implementation of that vision has fundamentally changed the way that we all work, play, and interact with each other. In order to change the world, you have to threaten the way that the world is now, and that's a scary prospect. Social media is admittedly somewhat terrifying. Does it threaten the way we communicate now? Absolutely. But in that risk is an incredible opportunity to expand what is possible with human communication. Social media has allowed me to talk to family members who live thousands of miles away. It's allowed me to reconnect with old acquaintances who helped me start my career. And it's allowed me to stay close with people who I wouldn't otherwise see face-to-face every few years. And none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for social media. It's easy to look at something as perilous as social media and dismiss it. It takes humility to understand and courage to explore and embrace the possibilities of a new way of doing things. As Steve Jobs famously put it, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of the rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some see them as the crazy ones, we see them as genius, because the crazy ones are the people who think they can change the world, and they're the ones who do.